reaction to 2 Samuel chapters 9 through 15. It's a big section and there's two parts in what we've been reading. And I want to talk about them, and there's a lot that could be talked about as we're looking at the story of King David now. And even outside of people who have a lot of biblical knowledge, kind of the story of David and Goliath, or the figure of David in the Bible has some known reputation. And generally I would say that David is thought of as a hero. And in the story of David, he acts like a hero on occasion, but he also acts like a villain. And we're reading the portion here where he's acting like a villain. And the consequences of these actions. It's really a sad section of scripture, and it has some disturbing parts. And I don't want to get into all that. You can read it. Hit me up in comments if you want to have a discussion about it. But what I want to address is something I think we need to be aware of in ourselves, particularly when we have a leadership role, when we are directing a group of people, where there are people who answer to us, and also when we are in a role where we are dealing with someone who's leading us. You see, there is a flaw, and I had never noticed this before, even though I've read this section of scripture many times. In this section, at least 3 times, you have the people who are surrounding David, his associates, his counselors, his advisors, his friends, and they're afraid to come to him and talk to him openly and tell the truth. And I think that when you are a leader, if the people around you are afraid to approach you with news they think you might not like, you are failing as a leader. And if you're working on a team and you're afraid to approach the person in leadership, that's a red flag. And we see this repeatedly. It starts off with Nathan the prophet, and he comes and he tells this story because David, it seems that he can't be addressed directly about his sin with Bathsheba. Then you have when his counselors are afraid to bring him the news that his son has died. And then you have Joab working and having to, his own like head general, somebody who he's fought with forever, is not comfortable coming to him and sends this like dishonest, it makes this dishonest plan and uses this what the Bible calls a wise woman to come and share ideas. It's just a really, to me, a sad commentary on David being the villain and someone who's supposed to be in service to the nation and to the people as a leader is not approachable by the closest people around him. They're afraid of him. And if you are, as a leader, are causing people to be afraid, I would say check your leadership. And if your leader, you are afraid of that person, maybe you need to ask, is this something they do or is this my own expectation? But really a sad commentary and just my thoughts on this section of 2 Samuel 9 through 15.